Hello everyone, welcome back. Drudge here with another RuneScape weekly update video. Now this week update is only the Premier Club, but there's a lot of packed into it. There is some patch notes. This goes over what the Premier Club gives, but I want to show you the better spreadsheet, if you will. The grandfather rates are not factored in when calculating this. Do keep that in mind. If you get the gold membership, which is the full year, it's a 30% discount compared to regular prices, regular current price. Sorry. Okay. My headset was acting weird there for a little bit. Okay, there's a Desert Pantheon Aura. Okay, each day of your Premier Club membership, the aura occurs 250 charges. It can store up to 500. So, I guess it only works for this 1 year and this 1 year only, unlike the previous ones. But here is the overall spreadsheet of what it does and how many charges. I'm guessing for the total year that you can use on each. If you are an Iron Man and if you are a hardcore Iron Man, if you're looking at the aura being really good for you this year, it's not too great, especially if you're hardcore, because 3 out of the 5 you can't use. But you can still use 2 of them. The ones that the Iron Man and the hardcores cannot use are the Scarabus and Ape Meccan or whatever. It's this one right here that's highlighted, and then this one right here. Those two, neither of them, well, both of them can't use. If you're hardcore, this one you can't use. But now, in order of what they are, you got the Strength of Het, which is plus 20% maximum life points per 1 hour, well, for 1 hour, max boost of 1,000 hit points. It has 50 charges. The Ward of Ictharlan, I just said that weird. 2 signs of life effects to be used within an hour, 125 charges. Hardcores cannot use this. Would be nice, but it would kind of negate pretty hard on the factor of death. But you can use a sign of death and sign of life, so you still have that you could use. Which you don't have to use an aura to use those, it just activates, so it's really not too big of a deal. You get your Wisdom of Scarabus, which is a plus 10% XP gain for 1 hour, 200 charges. Now this is only 4 regular accounts. Pretty good, actually. The Bounty of Krondus, increase your divine locations gathering limit by 100%, has 150 charges. That one's actually pretty good. If you're a hardcore or a regular Iron Man, that would be a good one. So I mean, you do have 200 charges overall you can use, you know, for hardcore. For the regular Iron Man, you do have what, 325 charges you can use. So it's still pretty good. And then the final one is the Joy of Ape Meccan. The player and all nearby gain 10% pulse core effect lasting 10 minutes. The duration refreshes on a repeat. Well, on repeat. 100 charges. And this is where it tells you, you know, what you can and can't do for the hardcore and regular Iron Man accounts. Now, before I get into the live streams and the patch notes, let's go over what the Premier actually offers this year. Now, it does offer a cosmetic reward. Right there is the outfit. Actually looks pretty cool, especially if you're into the whole Egyptian theme. Me personally, I like to mix and match, so I might use some parts of it for some of my character. Alright, now the breakdown of what all these give. Alright, it says gold gives you 30% off base membership price, and it does remind again, grandfather rates are not taken into account with this. So you got the bronze, you got the silver, and you got the gold. If you go for bronze, you only get 20,000 bonus loyalty, and you do get the aura. So there is that. If you get the silver, that's for 6 months membership. You get 50,000 bonus loyalty. You get the aura, and you also get the additional daily key on Treasure Hunter. If you get the gold, you get 150,000 bonus loyalty. You get the Desert Aura, you get the additional key, you get the Menethite Ancient Outfit, you get 50% discount on room metrics for 12 months, VIP World Access, VIP Forum Access, Forum Badge, Chat Badge, and prepaid card promotional items. And then all three also get access to old school members content. Now the price for the bronze is $25. This is in the U.S. currency, so keep that in mind. You know, you might have to adjust to depending on where you're at. But it's $25 for the bronze, $45 for the silver, and $80 for the gold. Now that actually is a lot cheaper than even compared to last year. I think it's cheaper about by $15, $17. Not too bad. Now, if you want to pay by bonds, you can do this. Okay, it doesn't show too much here, but we'll go a little bit into this. All right, back everybody. I had to delete that part because I wanted to check in to see about if it shows too much into the bonds. If I remember correctly, it takes 20 bonds for the full 1 year membership. So if you have 20 bonds, this would be a good time to use them. Keep in mind, the Premier Club does last for a couple months. And also, if you guys remember, on the 17th at 2300 UTC game time, I will be having my giveaway, which is going to be 12 bonds this time. So, if you see this, you know, try to get there. It's going to be a clue scroll type thing, treasure chest hunt, whatever. But that's what it'll be, and I'll be having it on this December 17th. The first place person, which is, you know, it depends on how many people go. If there's only 2, I'll split it so the first place person does get more bonds than the second place, in interest of fairness. If 3 people show, then I'll split it in accordance to first, second, and third. But you have to be in the first, second, or third to get some bonds. Mainly because otherwise, I don't want to just give out 1 bond each. You know, I would like to give a hefty amount of bonds to 1 person. And if you're the only one that shows up, you get all 12 bonds. And you don't even have to go through the entire event. It'll just be, hey, you're there. Nobody else has showed up for the first 15 minutes. So you automatically get all 12. But if 1 other person shows up, then we do it, because then there's also that chance of, you know, somebody getting all 12 bonds and 1 person getting none. You know, it's a friendly kind of competition. Alright, well, live streams this week are Tuesday the 29th at 1700, Christmas 2016, and Winter Weekends. Winter Weekends, if you're not familiar, they do a lot of bonuses throughout the month of December. Friday, December 2nd, 2100, update preview with Mod Shawnee. And the 4th, Sunday the 4th, at 2000 hours, PVM with Mod Lee. And now for the patch notes. Okay, graphical. The 2014 variant of the 15-year anniversary mode has been added. Skills, D&Ds, and minigames. Loot beams no longer remain on a dungeoneering key after another player in the group has taken the key. Saradomin and Zamrock Treasure Trail armors no longer give Saradomin or Zamrock components. That's disappointing, but that's good. It shouldn't. Room pouches now work correctly with Make X system. Buying adrenaline crystals from Mandrith will now give correct amount. Augmented Ancient Warrior equipment now correctly requires divine charges and to be created at an invention workbench. Checks have been added to prevent logging into a bounty hunter world when in certain areas. A disconnect that could formerly occur when attempting to upgrade tier 10 bounty emblem has been prevented. Revenant pets no longer turn into hype train when leaving player in house. The death cost of augmented and patched versions of ancient armor and upgraded dragon weaponry and the Forsaken amulet have been updated. Quest challenges and achievements. The traders in the Children of Maw now have correct names if saved. Typo in Children of Maw quest interface has been fixed. Children of Maw is now correctly listed as a Grandmaster on the adventure's log. Players no longer able to freely walk on lava when revisiting the Frenesque after Children of Maw. The cave at the bottom of Lava Falls now correctly leads to the nightmare creatures when revisiting Frenesque. Players can no longer smuggle out black and white nightmare overlay. Celesque scoreboard now displays the correct god kills depending on the choices made. Other players can now buy a bond from the Grand Exchange from anywhere in-game by using the bond's pouch. Last week's hotfixes. At 1310, players will no longer receive Nightmare Creature Slayer task from Curdell without completing Children of Maw. 1645, players will no longer receive Nightmare Creature Slayer task without unlocking the ability to receive the task. At 1150, players no longer get hit by the Nightmare Creature Shadow attack if the creature is dying. At 1430, Turkey Shani got lost. The hints have been updated to point at his new location. At 1600, players can no longer purchase event extenders. I like how it's Mod Shawnees. I'm sorry, but I like how it's Mod Shawnee. It's just like he's really cool, but it's just very fitting that it's his character, his turkey that gets lost. All right, ninja fixes. There's actually a lot of ninja fixes. Woohoo! Alright. Some look like they're very good. Okay, all combat specific Dungeoneering Gurgeon familiars have been substantially buffed in strength. All normal Dungeoneering Gurgeon familiars have also been buffed in strength. All Dungeoneering Skin Weaver familiars have their Clue Scroll healing substantially increased. The extra healing from food with a Skin Weaver familiar summoned has been increased based on the familiar's tier. Which I want to say that's good because I actually have used one recently and I hardly even noticed the heal. And this was not on my main account, so this is on my hardcore account. And his hit points are pretty low and I barely noticed it. Okay, Slayer and Ferocious Rings now use the teleport menu. Right click option has been added on pickup sticks to obelisk and familiarization. The Skull Scepter from the Stronghold of Security no longer uses or requires charges. Yuri will now appear immediately after a double agent is killed, regardless of changing into incorrect either for the clue. You'll still need to switch back to them to claim your next clue. There is now an option to no longer be asked to confirm when setting up a default action bar. Ninjas have dipped into their paint pots and added recolors to the chic scarves. Use the right-click recolor option on the object and the scarf will automatically be updated to the new color, including keepsake varieties. The following improvements have been made to RuneSpan. Wizard Phoenix now gives you purchase starter runes in order to level, or in order of level. Points are updated as soon as starter runes are purchased. Icons have been added to show Runesphere's current rune type. An icon is now shown when the Runesphere is at its core. An icon is now shown when a yellow wizard is calling you. Okay, weapon drops from Wyverns, Ripper Demons, Camel Warriors, and the Archaean Mammoths now have a greater chance of being dropped during a Slayer assignment. There is now an icon bar on the buff bar showing how cold the player is inside the Wyvern's cavern. Ripper Demon changes. Damage from Deathspin can now be blocked by prayers and abilities. Ripper Demons now become aggressive at 35% life points instead of 50%. The Ripper Demon Death Jump now takes longer to charge up. Players will no longer be attacked instantly upon entering the Ripper Demon Cave. The Ripper Demon drop table has been substantially buffed. That makes me kind of curious. I'm going to have to test that out one day and show you guys the changes on these creatures alone, because these are considered the elite Slayer creatures right now. Okay, the Camel Warrior changes. Corruption Shot will no longer trigger Mirage Phase on nearby camels. The transition between Mirage Phase and Phase 2 is now faster. Mirages now award combat experience upon death. And the Archaean Mammoth changes. The Mammoth charge animation will no longer be interrupted to make it easier to see when they charge. Mammoths no longer trample, but instead continue attacking players stood beneath them. And the following the following rewards from Tuska comes have been significantly reduced in cost. The Tuska War Priest pieces, Tuska Spears, Collaboration Device, Sacrifice ability, Devotion ability, Transfigure ability, Tuska's Wrath ability, all Tuska emotes, and the Tuska teleportation. So basically almost everything has been reduced. So it's a good time to go there and get your stuff if you haven't gotten it yet. Also, it's worth noting, the last time I had done the Tuska, after the Tuska event has actually already been completed, you have been able to keep getting 1,000 points each time you go into the event and go through it. So it's not like you can only get 1,000 per day or even 2,000 per day. It does seem to be you can just keep going in and keep doing it over and over and over, and you'll get your stuff pretty quickly. I think it takes about 15 minutes. So it's worth doing, especially if you're by yourself. It seems to be a lot easier. So thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, later guys.